What is going on, all you awesome fishy fanatics? I appreciate you being here. Of course, we've got an awesome guest, Kenny E. from Daniken Aquatics.
What up, fish people?
Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend. And this guy right here, gotta love Kenny E. I'm trying to find it. Not only did he kind of last minute agree to come on tonight, threw a $5 super chat in before the show even started. I'll find it over here. There it is. Says, oh yeah, always a blast with James and Ed. Absolutely, always a blast hanging out with Kenny. If you haven't already, go check out his channel, Daniken Aquatics. I've got a link in the description if you're watching this on the replay, and I'm sure we will have it in the chat throughout. We don't necessarily have one specific topic tonight. We're going to kind of wing it, if you will. We've got a couple things that I do want to talk about. I've got some pictures from some viewers that we're going to bring up and let everybody take a look at and see if we can't help this person figure out exactly what's going on with their fish.
I like that.
Kenny E is going to kind of give us a little bit of an intro to African cichlids. I don't know that he knew that he was doing that, but I asked if he dropped some African cichlid knowledge, so I figured he could give us kind of a beginner's guide as part of tonight. We will, of course, be taking questions throughout the stream. If you put @FishRoomFever, that will highlight for me and stand out so that I can grab that. MFT did right there. Said, hey, Fisher Fever, just done watching your replay. Great show last night. Thank you, MFT. Appreciate that very, very much. With my fish tanks. Glad to have you here. Hey, Aaron Sam Mattel, good to see you again. All right, now I am at the bottom there. I'm going to pause this because it's throwing me off watching the delay. That's the word I'm looking for. Wow, I'm going to figure out how to use words tonight at some point, I promise. But I appreciate all of you all hanging out here. We got 46 people. Nice, awesome, cozy Saturday afternoon, evening, nighttime stream for you all. And then Ed also has some stuff to talk about. He's got some stickers, and then I think you picked up some things at the fish store, Ed. You're going to share with us?
I did. I just came back from my sister's 50th birthday, and we were celebrating at the Texas Roadhouse. And on my way home, I get to drive by my favorite store in the world. Aquatic Aesthetics.
Nice.
Wait, I got to do it.
Hey, and, you didn't show the emblem, bro.
Oh.
All right. There we go.
And that is Ed's local fish store near Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you're in the area, I encourage you to swing by. It's an awesome place.
Yep. It is. But I almost was late because I was talking in there, and my old fish store owners were in there too that used to own Barrier Reef. And so I was like, oh man, I only had 5 minutes and they're in here talking. We're way too long. But okay, let's move on.
Excuse me. Well, you picked up something there from one of our viewers that dropped by.
Oh.
Do you want to share that?
Ray's Aquatics.
Ooh,
Yeah, he came by during Super Bowl Sunday, and of course, I was not to be seen on that day. But he left us both a card and a sticker, James.
Very nice. So, looking forward to that. I'll add it to the sticker collection on the tank back here.
And that's an awesome angel, too. I like that.
So where is Ray's Aquatics? What part of the country? Is he over there by you guys? Or?
Well, I think he was just traveling through. And stopped by. But I'm going to have to learn more about Ray's and give you an update, Kenny.
Absolutely. I believe I saw Ray in the chat. Excuse me. I'm just not going to be able to speak tonight. I'm glad you all are here. But I think Ray was in here before the party started saying some hellos. Pepland Creek Aquatic, thank you for Aquatics. Thank you for the $1 super sticker. Appreciate that. Adding that pile of fertilizer to the stream. Very, very nice of you. Look at that.
Check it out. I bought some angel art on the way home also for my bathroom because it's like glass. Yeah. And I'm not worried about putting glass art into my bathroom because of steam.
Right.
So I just saw this and said, I'm going to buy that. And then I end up getting Ray's angels. How cool.
Very, very
nice. What are the odds?
That is awesome. So Aaron Samatel says, not a good selection on plants. Do y'all have a website I can check out? I do not have anything listed as of yet, just because, excuse me, of temperatures. Wow. So
LRB generally has a lot of plants.
LRB is a great place to get plants from, or a great guy to get plants from. LRBAquatics.com. He's also got the YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with him and you're newer to the YouTube circle, awesome guy. Ed and I have been there a couple times. Kenny's been there. Kenny did a fish room tour up there. He's got that. Wow. Excuse me. We're going to break. I'm going to hand it over to Kenny. Kenny, would you care to tell us, if you're looking into getting into African cichlids, maybe some of the basics and things that you really need to know before you just rush out and get a bunch of African cichlids?
Well, the first thing I would say is know your water. If you're going to do African cichlids, they do like a higher pH, a little harder water. So, I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, you probably don't want to venture into African cichlids if you've got a pH down there in the 6s or the low 7s. It's probably not an area you want to start playing with. But if you got the more perfect water, that 7.8 to 8.0, good hardness to the water, I would start there. Then the next thing is very important is make sure when you are setting it up that you're putting lots of rock and structure in the tank. That's the number one mistake people make. If you don't give them plenty of places to call home, you're going to have a lot of aggression issues. So what I generally do is I don't have my Africans up here. I pull it around for you, but like I said, as much rock as you can put in there with lots of different heights and crevices, the better. And then lastly, not always necessarily something you have to do. I always, once every water change, throw a little bit of the African rift salt in there. It's got the nutrients and stuff that they like. Tends to make the colors pop a little better. So if you're just starting out and you want your first African tank, what I would suggest, and a lot of people want to go this way, I wouldn't get into the more expensive to start until you get to learn the fish a little bit. Go with some yellow labs, go with some red zebras, go with some Kenyis, a couple of the smaller type Mbuna species are awesome starters. Pretty much can take just about any kind of beating. And, start with those guys, kind of get a feel for it. And once you learn the art of the African cichlids, I don't think you'll find a more rewarding fish. Just a cool fish. So,
is there any tank mates that you can put in with them?
I keep if you're looking for bottom feeders, almost any of the Synodontis cats seem to hold up well to them. You can do Chinese algae eaters hold up as far as algae people. Common plecos I put in with them. I have put bristlenose. Bristlenose sometimes can get a little sketchy if you're on the smaller side because the Africans are nasty little critters like go up and eat eyeballs out. So I any more stray away from the bristlenose if you can get away with it. Clown loaches do well. Red-tailed botillas, red-tailed sharks, rainbow sharks, all are good species that tend to hang with them just fine if you're looking for good cleaners.
Very cool.
I think that is an awesome, brief but efficient overview on if you're thinking about getting into Africans. I was never able to beat the learning curve, I guess, to really get a tank that worked the way it should have. But beautiful fish. And like you said, the rewards you get from them, they really are some of the prettiest fish that you can get into in freshwater.
Right. If it was me, guys, the one thing, the biggest mistake new keepers to the African world do is they try to mix the lakes. Typically, it's not going to work, man. I get away with it because I know the species so well at this point. I know what I can adapt with each lake and be fine. Absolutely. But that is a big thing, too, is, you don't want to put Leopes in with Mbuna, and you don't want to put Frontosa in with, African, or excuse me, the predatory hops and the Frontosa probably aren't going to be a way to go. But anyway, that's the other mistake that people make is not mixing the right kind together.
Absolutely, and I think that's a general part of fish keeping overall. As we progress and we kind of learn our fish and learn different things, like I've got datinoids in with these angels. I use as an example a lot. I wouldn't recommend that for somebody just getting into the hobby. I wouldn't say, yeah, you can mix those. Also, this is just a grow out because those datinoids are only about this big.
Okay.
But I know those fish and their behaviors and their attitudes, and everybody gets along fine. Kind of like you said, you know your fish, so you're able to do some things that maybe
right.
Not.
Well, that one opened my eyes a little bit. I'm like, wow, datinoids with angels. I didn't know it could be possible, but that's cool.
It can. but it's like anything. I don't recommend it until, and I don't claim to be an expert, but you know, you learn fish as you keep them. You know, the longer you keep fish, the more you recognize things easier, I guess is the best way to put that. So there are a lot of things I get away with, and we use the term get away with a lot because it's something that we don't recommend. But there are a lot of things we get away with, I think, as more advanced hobbyists, more progressed hobbyists. I don't know the best way to put that, just because we get used to the attitude of the fish. We've got Furloughs Aquatics with $5 super chat. Now, I'm going to be on Furloughs Aquatics as a guest next Friday, barring anything happening. As long as that's still good with him. I think earlier in the stream he said that worked great. So next Friday I'll be on Furloughs Aquatics, hanging out with him. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Eric says, awesome lineup right there. Some great guys up there. I appreciate it. Looking forward to hanging out with you, Enrico, Stan, and several other people. But next Friday, check out Furloughs Aquatics. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to them already, go do that. That way you get the notification and you can come hang out there with me.
I spent some time with Rico Stan today on someone else's stream. He's a blast of a dude to hang out with.
He really, really is. We got Scott's Aquatics. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
And Furloughs was there, too. Both of those guys are straight up fun guys to hang with.
I need to start getting in on some of those things. I miss doing some of the old panels, like back in the day before we got more structured, quote unquote, and it became just this. When we just have random panels of people up, I really do miss that. I need to start getting.
Well, you and I and Ed all kind of grew up in the same era together, about the same time we were all coming into it. So we were in the same panels, had a blast.
Yeah, definitely. Scott's Aquatics, I appreciate $1 super sticker, dropping that big brown pile of fertilizer on the stream, keeping the plants happy and healthy. That one was loud. I hope that wasn't as loud on you all as it was here. But I appreciate that, Scott. Roll down through here. I saw Aquatic Marines in here. There's the super sticker. I knew Kenny from Aquatic Marine was hanging out. You know, we talked about aquatic aesthetics in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you're near Knoxville, Tennessee, if you're in the East Tennessee area, I recommend you check out Aquatic Marine. That's my local fish store. I've done some fish store tours there, along with a bunch of other things. I've got some videos on that. Shameless plug, go check out those fish store tours. We did some live streams. They're always a blast. But thank you, Kenny, for that $50 super sticker. I don't think I've ever seen that one before. It's a hippo popping out of a treasure chest, throwing coins everywhere. That's awesome. I love that. Thank you for that. That's my buddy. I appreciate it. Now, I did look. Somebody had asked about ordering aquatic plants. I think Aquatic Marine has plants, but they have fake plants. But they're like really nice, like almost designery looking fake plants. Like they're not just your standard generic fake plants. So if you're looking for those, you could check them out. But I didn't see any live plants, Kenny.
Okay, he only needs 2 more now, Zen.
Who's needing what? Who's needing what?
Your fish store needs 2 more for 100.
Oh, I'm sure we've got 2 more people that would enjoy subscribing to Aquatic Marine. He's got some awesome video stuff going on there. He's going to be doing some more stuff, and I need to get my butt in gear and go do some stuff with him. So that would be another place that you might be able to find me if you were looking for some more fish room fever. There's Ray Aquatics. Hey, you guys, what's going on, Ray? Appreciate the stickers very much, my friend. Atkins Nature Crew, just saying hello to everybody. Make sure I didn't miss one. I feel like I missed one in here. Again, we're taking questions and comments here in a second. I'm going to pull up a couple of pictures and let you all help us diagnose some fish problems for some fellow members of the Fishy Fam community here on YouTube. Aquatic Marine saying happy Valentine's to all. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Let's see. Lunatic Fringe. Let me get this, and then I'll grab the other super chat. It says, Africa have saltwater species too. They come from the Congo River. A lot of people forget that Rift Valley cichlids generalize as being African cichlids fish room fever. It's a good thought. Absolutely.
Danny and I keep West Africans as well, and you are right. They take a little bit softer water. We keep those and the Splendens and a few others.
Mike at the Fish Tank Barn. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Fish Tank Barn. I always want to throw the Fish Tank Barn on there. It just became a force of habit, but I'll get it right. Mike, Fish Tank Barn. Good to see you. All right. Mike's Aquatics and Things. Another Mike. one of my buddies, one of my pals, coming in here dropping $5 on us with the Karate Fox. I think that's one of Ed's favorites right there, isn't it?
It is one of my favorites.
I love that. I appreciate that very, very much, Mike's Aquatics and things. Always good to see you. I always very much appreciate the support. All right, I'm to the bottom there. Let me go back over here because everything went a little wonky right before we started the stream. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. It doesn't look like I did. Good, good, good. So let me get these pictures pulled up. We had a couple people in the Thursday night stream that mentioned having some issues and seeking opinions and advice on exactly what was going on and what to do about it. Let me get these
Now, is
pictures
this going to be that cichlid, or it was a fish that had something behind its gill?
Well, one of them is the discus with the dot behind its gill. And then the other one is some feeders that are no longer going to be feeders, but they've got some sort of grubs or little parasites or bugs or fish lice. I'm not entirely sure underneath the skin. Let me pull up.
That's one of the problems with buying feeders, because the feeders are mass produced, and they don't put much time into them because they're sold so cheaply, and people are feeding their fish these sick fish.
So I think I already got down in my tank with Chaka right now, the cure for the fish lice. If you got 1 second, James, I'll go grab that so we can show them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to get this pulled up. What's going on, Science Scout? Big Tank, Hank Maria Z, Module Sing, Monster Fish Gal. What's up? I'll call Jeff Rose in here. Good to see you all. All right, let's hit the share button here. And Chrome tab. This one. Is it this one? It might be this one. We're going to push some buttons and see what happens here. Yes, it is that one. So, let me see if I can get this. Well, yeah, you can see them. You see that? Yeah. There, from what I can tell, is what we're looking at. I've never had that problem, thankfully. Now I've lost my chat, but Kenny's gone to grab his stuff.
I don't think my eyes would be good enough to even see it if it wasn't blown up.
What am I looking at here?
Yes, it's these things right here.
Oh, okay, I see it now. God, it looks like it's just under the skin, don't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's just under the skin.
So salt is out of the question. I was going to always start with salt, but whenever we get any kind of tapeworm, any kind of flute, anything of that nature, this is what we go as prazoprone. I don't know if you guys have used this stuff before, but it works wonders. And it's of treatments go, it's not as harsh as a lot of them. I use that, but I don't think I've ever seen this. Have you, James or Ed?
I have not. I've been fortunate enough to not have to deal with that previously.
Is this the one that's in a feeder fish, or is this?
This is the feeder fish. Then I've got a discus also we're going to look at.
Yeah, right off the bat, if it's not a fish that is considered very caring or that you want on your, I would get rid of that sucker. I just wouldn't take the chance, put it in my tank at all.
Well, I think they're, from what I remember, they're going to set up a tank just for these fish. They were made to be feeders, but they didn't want them as feeders. They're going to do a tank of them.
Oh, so they're going to, okay.
Parasite larval flukes. I've seen several people mention the larval flukes. So
yeah, if they're flukes, then Prazapro will definitely kill them.
Oh, nice.
And go ahead, buddy.
That will definitely kill them.
One of the things I love about this community, because neither Ed nor myself and nor you have ever claimed to have all the answers.
No.
That's one of the great things about crowdsourcing, is you can get a lot of people to get some eyes on something and generally come to a good conclusion there.
I'm just hoping someday I have an answer.
Oh, you usually have an answer. You usually do.
This gentleman is in your chat tonight. I've noticed this guy's every time questions came up in all the streams, he always seems to have the answer. Does Danny Wessel?
Absolutely. Danny's another awesome person that's in here. We've got so many awesome people in this community that typically have more knowledge than I do.
See, Tampa Tom leans like me. It's always go to the salts to start.
Absolutely. I can't disagree with that. Roll on through here. So yeah, I'm going to say that's more than likely what that is. Only because I don't ever definitively give answers for the most part, unless it's something I personally have experience with. But I killed Kenny. There we go. I removed the wrong one. Sorry, Kenny. All right, let's pop that off of there. Let's bring up the other one. This is the discus that has the white spot behind / above the gill. Give me just a second. All right, discus spot. Let's open that up. And we'll share that one. Add the stream. There we go. I'll get this zoomed in.
Ooh.
We're looking at.
God, at first I thought, I don't think that doesn't look fungusing to me. It almost looks like the start of a hole in the head, almost kind of, don't it?
And it could be. And somebody actually mentioned that. It may have even been Rob at Aquascapes was talking about it before, and I hadn't actually seen the picture at that point.
It doesn't look like fungus to me because it's not really fuzzy. But again, what I would start with on treatment with that is salt.
Mm-hmm.
Salt always works wonder in a good solid 50% water change. And see what happens after about 3 days. I think that would most likely start to get it going bye-bye.
Yeah, got Paul Sotero saying it is hit or hole in the head. And then Skipper says that's another parasite. It's one of those things that
on that one, I think I would definitely start with salt. I wouldn't go much heavier than that until you figure out exactly what it is. I mean, I'm leaning towards hole in the head as well because see how it's almost starting to indentate there a little bit?
Yep. And it's one of those things that depending upon how you look at the picture, you can't really tell if it's an inward indentation or if it's something that's sticking out of the skin. Somebody also mentioned a cyst.
And almost wish you could see it, his eyeballs facing us so you could get a better idea. But the thing that makes me, it's not fungus. If it was fungus, he wouldn't just have it in that one spot. It would be all over and most likely in the eyes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think salt's a good start.
Well, I'll go back for a second, James. It does look like the eyes are getting a cloud to them, though, doesn't it? Maybe a little bit.
Let me see what you all are seeing. See how it looks.
I think it's hard for James to move the. You can only zoom in.
It's mostly how it's showing on you all's screen, if you will, on StreamYard. I think they're dumbing down the picture, if you will, the picture quality.
So Danny's saying the same thing. If it's inward, it's hole in the head. If it's outward, it's a cyst.
There you go. So I will email.
And unfortunately, with the cyst, I don't know of any good treatment for a cyst per se, other than, again, salt and good water change is what I would start with this particular one, I think. You still there, James?
Oh, James, you have no volume. I think you're muted. But yep, I'm with you, Kenny.
Yep. No, I agree 100%. Those would be my two things. And depending upon whether it's inward or outward, I think that is most likely what we've got going on.
It was not what I was picturing it in my head on Thursday night.
Yeah, right,
I was picturing
absolutely.
more like either a wound from a bite,
right,
or almost like something that was attached. So
the only thing that makes me wonder, though, I see how it has that crater to it. That's the only thing that makes me wonder.
It does,
and it is a cichlid, which are notorious. Those Oscars, my Geophagus, almost all of them are I see something like that, it's instantly salt. And if that doesn't work, then I go to general cure and just basically take it from there. Main thing with any of the hole in the head is instantly change the water 50%. Make sure you're giving them 50% water changes I do it about every 3 days for about 2 weeks. So, and I learned that from another good friend of ours, Mr. Bob Kaler.
Absolutely. Bob's an awesome guy and a wonderful resource and wealth of knowledge. I'm going to grab... Oh, sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. I was just going to say that's the beautiful thing about the fish fam. There's always somebody that has had a situation that they've had to deal with. So you always have plenty of people with great ideas.
Definitely. And that at least, you know, it helps narrow things down versus trying to look through an entire book of fish diseases.
No kidding.
And that is one thing I bought that I paid more than I normally would pay for a fish book. Is it's got like a very in-depth look at fish diseases and actual pictures of all of them, and it even went into autopsying some of the fish and looking at the internals, which we're not going to do as hobbyists, but some very in-depth stuff. And it's a nice reference. It's a nice one I can take and pull and look at the pictures and go, oh, yeah, that looks just like that. Okay, we've got Sean Chadwick with the $3 super sticker with that thumbs up, fist bump, exercise pair. I appreciate that, Sean. I hope you're doing well today. Glad to have you here and appreciate the support. Arman says, I just got my black samurai Betta. I'm planning in the future, I want to breed him. Do I have to breed him with another black samurai, or can I breed him with a different Betta? So, generally speaking, and myself not being the Betta expert, we're hoping Thursday to have a wonderful, what I would consider Betta expert on the show, on the not the nocturnal. Well, it's going to be both. It's going to be Aquaholics Anonymous and the Nocturnal Feeding Show. We're going to do a 2-hour special with her. She could give you a very in-depth answer. I will say I have seen people do both, and that most of the fish keepers that are specifically into Bettas, I hate to use the term Betta purists, would say only breed it with another black samurai. And there are some genetics reasons, I guess, is the best way to put it, involved in that. So I could definitely agree with that. Do I think that you want to just go and breed it with the cheapest Betta that you find at PetSmart or Petco? No. I think you want to also get a nice high quality to go with it. But honestly, I would probably go with trying to keep a nice strain nice, personally, in my opinion. And Arman, I know you're in here all the time on the live stream, so I will try and remember that question. Actually, I'll write that down real quick so that we can ask our Betta expert when she's on. Hopefully Thursday, assuming that everything lines up. Just gonna write that. All right, now let's roll on down through here. Sorry. Texas Fish Room, what's going on? Good to see you here with the $1 super sticker, dropping another brown pile of fertilizer on the stream to keep those plants in the background growing that you see down there. I appreciate that, Texas. Hope you are doing well, and thank you. S. Shrestha says, sorry I'm late, but glad I'm in time, though. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, too. Appreciate you hanging out with us all the time. Hope you're doing well. Paul Sotero, there was where he said it was Hith, or Hole in the Head. HSPS Tank Tribe says, hey, Fish Room, Ed and Daniken. What's going on? I hate stupid people. Good to see you. Furlough saying, start a hole in the head for sure. Rolling back through here. And then Paul says, Hith always starts out looking like a white head pimple. So there you go. Roll on down. JFK2 with $5 super chat. Thank you. HFW. But I'm going to find it. It says, not cloudy at all. The spot is coming out almost tube-like. Absolutely. That's kind of what I see too. And then that kind of goes back to what Paul was just mentioning with how it kind of starts out looking like a pimple. That's empty. You don't want that one. We're just going to throw the empty ones at the camera. I'm just kidding. But I appreciate you throwing that $5 out there. I really, really do. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to me that everybody's hanging out here. But the support is definitely always appreciated, never expected. But I'm very, very grateful for it. We've got 98 people hanging out and 68 thumbs ups. Very awesome of you all to do that. Very much appreciated. Let's roll on down here. Pulsatero said, I'd raise the tip to at least 88 Fahrenheit and add salt to the water. Very good. I will send that along. Estressa says, my female German blue ram has a redness on the head, wondering how she got it and cure. Thoughts, guys? A redness on the head. Has she been, how do I phrase this? Rooting around? I know that sounds weird, but has she been like trying to push things around or trying to move any decor or anything like that? I have seen fish do that. Typically when I've seen a redness, it's from where they're either trying to move things around and they've rubbed it or
I was going to say too.
Yeah, could be, absolutely. And then also when fish dart around and hit stuff. Sorry, Ed, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. It's like you can really see it on my tinfoil barb. He'll like just run, bam, right into something super hard, and you actually see the red around all the scales. You know, like the tenderness that it's like a bruise, but it's red instead of ours would be blue. But yeah, and then my geophagus, they like to run their heads into things too.
Absolutely. So my recommendation when I want to try and help a fish out that doesn't necessarily have a need for a medication, or at least you're not sure that it needs medicated. Let me share this. I like this stuff. And I want to show you the picture because there's so many different stress designs, stress coat, stress guard. Let me share this. Share a screen. Absolutely love this stuff. It also has some anesthetic properties to it. So it helps kind of make them feel a little bit better. That is the CChem. Hashtag not sponsored. Definitely not sponsored by CChem. Although I'll take it if you're listening, guys. But this stuff here, the purple bottle stress guard, that's what I like to keep around. And I like to use that if it's something where a fish needs a little bit of help feeling better and healing up. That purple bottle right there. Move that. All right, get my chat back. Hey, T-Bone, what's going on, buddy? Appreciate you being here. All the awesome people.
What up, T-Bone?
Lori, all sorts of cool people. Speaking of T-Bone, a $5 super sticker from T-Bone's Fishies. With that, how's it going? Exercise pair, taking a break from all the exercising. That's actually what John from KG Tropicals looks like when he gets off of his treadmill. He just kind of plops down. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, John. If you happen to be like him, just picking on you, buddy. But thank you very much for that, T-Bone. I hope you're having a great day. Appreciate you being here. Estressa says, yes, that's what I use with some salt in my hospital tank for now. Thanks for the info. Yep, absolutely. Salt, another wonderful thing. Salt is kind of the go-to, especially, given that a lot of places salt is the thing, places where medications are not permitted. People have had to learn specifically to treat with salt. Zen Ginger says, random thought, I just realized I'm 10 weeks away from my 1-year member badge. Time sure flies. Seems like yesterday. Keep up the good work, you two. Zen Ginger, thank you for that. You and several other people that have got those purple badges, I know you're coming up on the 1 year. It really, time does fly. I can't believe, one, that we even have the memberships, two, that there are so many awesome people that have joined up in the memberships to be a part of the Fish Room Fever family, and three, that it's been a year. It really just blows me away. The support and love this community has shown me. I'm forever grateful, and I cannot say thank you all enough for that. All right, rolling and scrolling. I think I caught everything. I believe I did. Yes, looks like we're good. All right, we are caught up. We've still got about 25 minutes. We're going to have Jeff Rose Fish Keeping coming on at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, about 25 minutes from now. So you all be thinking of what you'd like to do for a hashtag going into that. I don't see him in here, but I want to say congratulations to Fishy Biz. Kenny was telling me that Fishy Biz Aquatics hit his 1,000 subscriber mark today or yesterday. Just recently. So congrats, Fishy Biz. Super, super happy for you, buddy. I know you've put a lot of hard work into that, so I'm glad that finally came into fruition for you.
I was going to make a video for him, but now I don't have to, I guess.
All right. So, Kenny, I know Ed and I have talked about a couple of things that we've got planned for the upcoming year, hopefully in terms of events. Do you have anything this year that you're like, hey, I'm going to do this thing?
Well, I think I'll definitely be going to Aqua Shella, Chicago, because that's close to home, so I can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm strongly considering Orlando still.
That's going to be fun.
I hear some buddies of mine that I like to have balls with, maybe in Orlando, so I might head down there. The other one I was strongly considering, I hear, is canceled now. It's down in the Louisiana area. That got canceled too now, correct?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that would be in 7 days.
But other than that, not much else, guys. I pretty much.
What about
just normal.
St. Louis ACA?
Oh yes, thank you, Ed. I do plan on going to the one in St. Louis, only because I know it's your hometown and you'll be there, and you could probably show me a cool couple of places to hit.
Yep. Well, and they've actually added this Carp village that just has a whole mess of cool things too in it. So
I'm going to an ACA event. In my case, I mean, Cichlids, I'm gonna spend way too much money. I already know it.
Well, here's your advantage: is you have to mail it home, probably.
Right here, buddy. Right here on my lap. Buckle in and let's go, man.
Well, then you're only going to spend a lot of money on 1 or 2 fish.
I got a big backpack, bro. Big one.
And then we'll also see Fishy Biz there too, because he's in St. Louis.
That would be very, very cool.
Yep, and I think Carrie will probably be there too, from Science Scal. So she's awesome.
And you two are talking about doing an East Coast tour or something soon, aren't you?
One of these days.
Well, you have to let me know, because that's the other area I plan to hit. So maybe you guys start in Florida, I'll start up in Maine, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle.
There we go.
We're going to have to see how much my truck costs to fix.
Right. I think we just fly up to Maine and we just ride the whole way with Kenny.
Oh, man. I don't know, James. I barely handled the 10.5 hours each way with that. I mean, I probably would not have a gut left from laughing, bro.
Oh, that's a
I have
wonderful
a
guy.
free flight to Vancouver, BC. I can use any time this year.
Oh, Vancouver, BC. You're going to come too?
Well, you see, I ended up with a free ticket there. There's a layover in Dallas too, so I can stay in Dallas as long as I want and just turn around, or I can go all the way up to BC.
BC is exactly 6 hours for me, bro. You let me know, and I'm going to be a Canadian for the weekend.
There you go.
For sure. Don't you know?
And the great thing about that is Ed now has his 1,000 subscribers also as of last week, so he can do live streams when he does these awesome things.
Nice. From his phone?
It's gonna be fun. Let's see. IHSP's Tank Tribe says, I've also heard calcium helps with HIF. Maybe Wonder Shell or calcium chips also in the tank or hospital tank. I'll have to look into that. I did not know that. Very good information. I appreciate you sharing that. Rolling through here, we've got good old Bob at Alligator Aquatics. Gotta love Bob. Bob, I miss you. Haven't seen you in, seems like ages, buddy. But I hope you're doing well. I know you are. But I appreciate the super sticker. Dropping that $1 pile of fertilizer on there.
Yeah, no, Bob just recently hit his 2K, which is awesome.
Yeah, Bob's a rocking and a rolling. Bob's got probably 3,000 videos at this point. I mean, Bob's got a lot of awesome stuff to check out. Bob. I found Bob's channel and then found out Bob was local. And that's how, of course, I met Ed. And then via that, ended up meeting you and have met so many awesome fishy people. But Bob was kind of like my gateway into the fish community here, if you will. And
I think I met him through Punchy, is how I found Bob.
That's how he's the godfather. Well, that's actually how I did too. Because I knew who Bob was, because I used to just use my last name on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his name was like just Bob Kaler, or maybe Bob Kaler's Aquatics. It was something like that. He changed it to Kaler's Aquatics. But but then when I changed my name to Chattanooga Ed, then he was like, hey, I live in Cleveland. It's like, oh, well, that's nice. Ohio's swell. And I didn't even realize it was the Cleveland next to me. So that was pretty cool.
oh, goodness. So where did it go? Lost my chat again. But there's another awesome person that's headed to Aqua Shella, Orlando. That is Furloughs Aquatics. Furloughs Aquatics says Furloughs Aquatics will be going to Aqua Shella, Orlando for the first time ever. It will be my first Aqua Shella as well, and that'll be first time getting to meet you, Eric. So that'll be super, super cool. Really looking forward to Aqua Shella this year, even though there won't be nearly as many smaller things, if you will, that we go to this year. Looking forward to the couple of bigger things. So can't wait for that.
There's two things that I want to do while we're in Orlando. I want to go to an alligator farm because I love alligators, and I'd like to go check out Imperial Farms. Also. Absolutely.
Well, and that's the thing about Florida is if you want to see an alligator farm, you just have to look at the drainage ditches along the highway, and there you go. Only in some places. But no, that'd be very cool. And of course, you know me, I always have to get fresh seafood. That's my thing. If I get back to Florida, I'm like, I have to get some fresh seafood. I had some seafood the other day, and of course, not fresh here in the mountains. And instantly I was like, I wish I was in Florida. That was a good meal that we had with you and Kenny E and Father Fish and hanging out, talking fish and eating fish and just having a good old time.
Oh, yeah, that was good, man.
Mary Beth McCubbins says, I got my first cichlid today. Cutest little balloon blue ram. Are they a good starter cichlid, or did I mess up? Kenny E?
I don't think you can get too much trouble with the rams. I guess my first question would be, what is it going in with, would be the question.
And keep your temperature up.
Yeah, they like the warmer temps. But beautiful, beautiful fish. We keep those with our discus. So
yeah, I'm definitely in agreement on that. Our man says, in your opinion, what's your most favorite betta? And last thing, what betta that you have kept that had a lot of personality? And I got the Black Samurai from KG Tropicals. They sell great. Yes, so KG Tropicals, if you're looking for bettas, and you're not local to myself or Ed, you know, you've got Aquatic Aesthetics near Clinton, Tennessee. Wow, now I'm saying Clinton. Aquatic Aesthetics near Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you've got Aquatic Marine near Knoxville, Tennessee. If you're looking to go online, KG Tropicals, keepfishkeeping.com. Again, not sponsored, but I love what John and Lisa have got going on. They're definitely high quality. My favorite betta is probably my alien betta. It's like a greenish, bluish, changes colors in the lights. That's probably my favorite. Most personality would probably be in a Dumbo. A lot of the Dumbos, they seem to have a lot more personality, especially you get a male Dumbo that's got really nice finnage. And it may just be because of the way they swim due to all that finnage, that they just seem to have really cool personalities. So that would probably be it for me. Either of you all, favorite betta?
I lean towards almost any of the mouth brooding types. I like the wild and cool looking. They kind of remind me of Pike cichlid almost.
I'm surrounded by three of them, and I don't want to point to say who I like best because I don't want the other ones to be upset.
I totally understand. So S. Shretza says, I didn't know February 12th was World Aquarium Day. Happy a day to all the fish folk living this my childhood dream. Started with 1 and I now have 9. Congratulations on 9. They definitely stack up quick. And that's awesome. I did not know that. I appreciate you sharing that. I'm going to have to keep that in mind for next year. We're going to have to do some sort of a celebration for World Aquarium Day. That's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. I didn't know that.
You know, who won the Rock? Was it Mike?
I have to go back and look through the emails.
Bob just asked, and I thought it was Mike. He won one of the Catfish Christmas things too, didn't he?
I believe so.
Oh, well, package both things together.
Batman Aquatics. He's saying,
Mike, that's crazy lucky.
Absolutely.
I had talked to Fat Man earlier in the day, and he had said, he answered one of my questions, and I'm like, hey, dude, I got to know your name because I'm not going to go through the rest of my life calling you Fat Man. I can't do it, man. I just feel bad about it. So found out today his name's Jacob, and now he just announced it in the chat, which is cool.
There we go.
I just had a problem calling him fat man. I just felt derogatory to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and YouTube
I have
doesn't
no
like it
problem
either.
calling him fat man.
Well, and you
Those
and I
fat people have to be put in their place.
Oh goodness.
He's your friend, James.
I don't know what to do with him. Let's see, Mary Paige Flynn saying hey to us with a fist bump in the heart, saying hey everyone lurking and loving. Good to see you, Mary Paige Flynn. Hope you're doing well. Paul Sotero says I got this notice earlier today. Carolina Aquatic Expo in Fort Mill, South Carolina, 4/3 or April 3rd, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Very, very nice. That's not far. That's not far.
You know, I forgot to check too, guys, if the AGA is going to do anything this year. Aquatics Gardeners Association. Have you guys ever been to one of those?
I have
AGA.
not.
They're cool.
The last one was up there by you in Seattle, though.
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
how I met Lucas and Alex. I met a lot of cool people up there.
Yeah,
I met
thought that was-
Corey and I met Whiskey. I mean, it was a great, great deal.
But isn't it always up there close to you, or do they travel around?
No, I think they do move around.
Oh, cool.
Okay. That's good.
But
Maybe we need
if
to
you're
ask Lucas.
if you are an aquascaper type person, I mean, it is the event for you. I mean, that's kind of what it's centered around. That and plants.
I got some cool stuff for aquascaping. Every time I go to my fish store, I buy 2 rocks. So I've always got, so that way I get to cherry pick all the rocks.
Right.
So that way, you know, like I can when I need 200 pounds, I'll already have it. So I think this is the Samurai rock. I bought 2 of them. But it's just neat
Oh,
rock.
very nice.
I really like it.
I've got some of that stuff. I absolutely love it.
I didn't mean to laugh, James, but it seems like I don't care what subject you bring up, a bag comes from behind that desk of Ed's, and he's got. Have you noticed that? It's just ironic. It's like every time he's got the bag. I got something for that.
Well, he's trained his cats to run the bags back and forth in their mouth, so that he's constantly got bags being brought to him.
That's what they do.
Lisa and Jay says, "Hey, Fisher Fever, Ed and Kenny E. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Hope you're doing well
What's
today.
going on, Lisa?
Fantastic fish freaks." And this brings me back to something about puffers that we'll get to here in a minute, Kenny. But fantastic fish freaks with the $5 super chat this evening. Fishy folk, hope you're all staying. And then there's an arrow in front of it. Warm, 0 degrees flat here in Iowa. Hope to make one of the Aqua Shellas this year if they all stay on. That would be awesome. Not that I'm biased, but if you can make Orlando, that would be great, because that's going to be the one that I get to. So I'm hoping to meet as many people there as possible. But yeah, 0 degrees, way too cold for me. Couldn't do it. Negative. But I hope you do get to one of the Aqua Shells. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Very much appreciate it.
Do we know? Have we talked to the Zens? Are they going to try to get to Orlando?
I honestly do not know all this party popper stuff that just keeps on coming from behind the monitor here.
So are they not going to do one in Texas whatsoever now, or the Texas?
No, they still have that one, but it's going to be over Halloween.
Oh.
And I would still go to Texas, but I'm not going to do it on Halloween, man, because that's just a big event for my family. And, you know, I was going to cancel out on my family and do it the one time because they moved our tickets. No way I'm going to Florida. LOL. I guess lots of love to Florida.
I guess she didn't leave you any hope there, Ed. It's like, no, I ain't going.
Not happening.
Oh.
All right. That reminded me, though, because, of course, Fantastic's huge puffer guy. Go check out his channel if you like puffers. I think he's got 6 different kinds now. He's got lots of awesome puffers. But this went back to earlier when we were talking about the feeder fish and trying to diagnose what was going on with that one. Mentioning that a lot of times we feed our fish, other fish, to get them sick. You mentioned something interesting about puffers before the stream started that I was not aware of. And that was in regard to their food source. If you wanted to share that for anybody that might not know.
Well, that's something I learned recently, and I never put 2 and 2 together, but it makes sense. I was told that you have to deworm a puffer regularly, and the reason being is from what you feed them. And I didn't, I have never treated Chaka since the first, I got it last year and I treated it and never treated it again. And then I noticed that he was looking goofy. But come to find out, I guess some of the snails that you feed your puffer fish can carry parasites, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
makes perfect sense. As soon as you said it, I'm like, oh, duh, yeah. And then, but never would have thought about doing it. So
yeah. So anyway, if you have puffer fish, they say that might want to get into treating them once a year or deworming them once a year. Who knew?
Absolutely. Lunatic Friends has a question for you. Says, I have a question for Daniken Aquatics. What is his favorite fish that is in the Mississippi River?
Favorite fish in the Mississippi would have to be probably a flathead catfish.
Nice. Can't go wrong with that.
All the catfish taste good from the Mississippi.
Oh, those things are absolute. They are definitely the top predator in that there Mississippi River, I would have to believe.
Definitely.
I can tell you the thing that I would like to get rid of would be all the Asian carp that
are tell me. Those things are in the Illinois River now. Those things are taking over everywhere, man.
There's two sizes. There's two different types. There's a giant one and then the smaller ones.
There has actually been fatalities now because of those
I believe
things.
it. Wow. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, picture somebody cruising along in their boat going, wide open in 20 knots or whatever. All of a sudden, this carp comes up and smacks you in the middle of your forehead at 20 miles per hour. You can see where it'd be a problem. And I mean, it's a big problem. And those things go ape crap when a boat goes in the area. They start flying everywhere. My friend sent me a video about 3 months or, last summer. I could not believe what I was seeing,
Well, you wouldn't believe, I lived right next to the river my whole life, next to the Mississippi. But the last few years, it always flood all the time. But then the water goes out, but they would stay on, they get trapped. And it was thick with those fish just dead all over because they'd come up and eat the grass and whatever is in the field. And that just shows how overpopulated they are. And it's going to wipe out the habitats of all the fish that need the plants to live in. Their fry. It's sad. It's bad.
Well, those particular carp too, don't they? They're filter feeders too, aren't they? I thought I read something about they're eating a lot out of the water column itself too somehow.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just know that I've read a lot about them eating all the plants. But now, the St. Louis Zoo is feeding a lot of the animals, those carp. So they're having professionals go out and catch them and bring them in, and they grind it up. And I think, I can't. I'm not going to give you a percentage. I heard a percentage but it was larger than 50% of the animals that eat fish are able to eat that carp.
Oh, nice.
So I think it was way higher than that, but that was really cool. St. Louis Zoo is a great zoo, and it's free. It's the third best in the world.
They go after worms, is what Keith is saying.
There we go. We've got about 6 minutes left, so I'm going to burn through these comments real quick because I want to give each of you all a chance to do a little wrap up, and then we're going to head over to Jeffrey's Fish Keeping. Furlow's Aquatics, this was back on the favorite Betta, says, I love the good old koi placots or placots, whatever. Absolutely, they are definitely beautiful. Scroll on down here, grabbing highlighted stuff. Arman says, do you have any projects to share? I have a project that I did not start yesterday. I've got a lot of projects. Pretty much every single aquarium I own has to be touched in one way or another, either moved or reset, or the fish changed from that tank to another tank. Pretty much every single aquarium is a project at this point. And I'm trying to figure out how to do it in the best way possible. And I will be filming it. So I want you all to know I didn't do it and film it because I mentioned possibly starting on it yesterday. But I started to move one of the racks and was like, I can't move this yet. I have to figure out how to move these other things first. But I will definitely be filming that stuff and uploading more vloggy style on just the general moving things around. So it's definitely coming. Michael Long, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for the hello. Roll on down. Did I make it or did it jump? Embassy Aquatics says, I'm doing like you suggested on my 360 gallon and going sump glad to hear it. I don't think you will regret that. Biggest thing is just kind of look into Sumps if you're not familiar with them, and keep in mind that you need to have a place for water to go if that pump gets turned off or the power goes out. Just keep in mind displacement, how much water is going to drain from the top tank, and making sure there's enough room for the sump to hold that so it doesn't flood into your floor. I'm going to roll back up. Here we go. It was Michael there. Our man there's Zen. Thank you for posting all the links tonight. I appreciate you and all the mods doing the moderator thing. Can't thank you all enough for doing that. You show up each and every week, a couple of times a week, and you do it for free out of the goodness of your heart. So very much appreciate everything you all do. Looks like we made it to the bottom. Real quick, in 2 minutes or less, Kenny, we've got some newer names to the fish fam in here. So anybody that maybe is not familiar with Daniken Aquatics, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, if you like tanks, that's what we have. Plenty of them. We've got over 70 tanks with a variety of fish. We've got everything from shrimp all the way to African cichlids to South American cichlids. A bunch of different lines of guppies and jellyfish, mud skippers, discus. We've got a little bit of everything. We stream 2 nights a week. We stream Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific and Sundays 6 p.m. Pacific.
Absolutely. I highly recommend you go check out Daniken. He's even got some footage of me, beard deep, and some alligator, I won't say infested. There may or may not have been a nearby gator, but wild fish collecting with Father Fish and Chattanooga Ed and all of us having a blast. He's got some great stuff over there.
He was literally like a little kid in a swimming pool trying to get him out of there so we could go eat. Wasn't he? I mean, we couldn't get the guy out of the water.
He's a natural. He's amazing.
I was waiting to see gill plates.
Yeah, and then we got to see the alligator swimming around in there.
Yeah, that was not the fun part.
They were only like 4 foot long.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only would have took off. He's used to getting pieces of flesh taken off, so he's good.
There's an update for everybody. The piranha bite is wonderful. Everything's fully functional, so all good there.
Alligator bite, just a mere flesh wound, nothing to worry about.
Absolutely. And then Ed, you had something you wanted to mention that we'll mention before we wrap things up here.
Yep, I hope Lefty's still here because he had a link for me last night because I couldn't figure out how to do it on Daniken's show. But my brother's doing a pampered chef party thing. My brother tries to do things to try to help himself, get a little ahead because sickly and he's kind of stuck at home and can't do a lot. So he's doing a pampered chef party. If anybody, I tried to invite people on Facebook, but I think I may have messed up and didn't invite everybody, but I don't want to start over and re-invite people that don't want to be there. But if you got a friend, a mom, anybody who likes to cook, if you guys could check it out. Otherwise, if Lefty's not here to pop that link, if you go on Chattanooga Ed Facebook, just throw me a link and I'll ask you to be my friend, and then I can invite you. Because that'd be awesome. And no requirement to buy anything.
Absolutely, yes. Shy Miss Fever, she accepted your thing earlier. She's like, it's Ed, and I'll probably not do it, but I'm gonna, because Ed's a nice guy, I'm gonna be a part of the group.
Thanks.
But we've got 1 minute left, so a huge thank you to everybody. Of course, Daniken Aquatics, Kenny E, thanks for being here. My buddy, my pal, my friend. Chattanooga Ed, my co-host, all the moderators, members, the lurkers, the listeners, the chatters, questioners, and contributors, the replay crew. I love you guys. I really do appreciate this community. I figure what better hashtag than hashtag Booty Boys to go over to Jeffro's with, since we got
there it is.
We got 3 of the 4 Booty Boys here. So hashtag Booty Boys. We're going to post the link again for Jeffro's Fish Keeping, who is live next. I'll turn it over to Ed. Kenny, if you've got any
as always, love your fish, guys.
There you go.
Yep. I'll see you guys in the next stream.
All right. Until next time, keep your fish healthy. Keep yourselves healthy. Catch yourself a little fish room fever. Take care, everybody.